are here for FS2. Prelims here in Las Vegas. Deontay Wilder in the main event. His younger brother, Marsellos Wilder, getting ready to go right now. He'll be taking on Dustin Long, tail of the tape. Wilder is 30 years old, tall like his brother, not quite as tall, 6'3". Facing up against Long, who's 37 years old, 6'5". His record, though, just 2-1-2. Both of his wins, though, coming by knockout. So again, Deontay's little brother in the ring right now. Let's go to the ring and Jimmy Lennon.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Premier Boxing Champions presents our next attraction. Introducing to you our three judges scoring from ringside. We have Adelaide Bird, Chris Flores, and Glenn Feldman. All right, fans, here we go. 6 rounds of boxing, cruiserweights in the ring. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with red trim. Joining us from Johnson City, Tennessee. He weighed in at 198 1/2 pounds. His record is even up with 2 wins, 2 losses. Both of his wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Dustin Long. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim, fighting out of and representing the well-known boxing family from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He weighed in at 197 pounds with a record of 5 wins, 1 loss. He has 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Marsellos Wilder. And our third man to the ring, the referee in charge, Jay Nady.
Please come center. Six rounds. Obey my commands. Good luck. Touch glove now. Let's go to work. Gentlemen, good luck.
There we go, Dustin Long, Marsellos Wilder. You can see the genetics at work in the Wilder family. Same nice, trim, muscular physique, good height. Not quite 6'7", but he's pretty tall.
Here's the crazy thing to me, that both of these guys weigh under 200 pounds.
Yeah, right at 6'5", that's a good point. Cruiserweights,
That's
crazy. They're passing on dessert after dinner, Joe. Yeah. Like you, Joe.
Yeah, well, you know. I have my own fights in a different way, though.
Has to be difficult for Marsellos, of course. He was inspired by his brother's success, got into the ring, was doing a little sparring with his older brother, and looking to have his own career. He's 5-1, but he did get upset in his 4th pro fight, derailed him a little bit.
Yeah, well, actually seen that fight, and you know, he got caught with a good punch, wasn't able to recover, but you know, he's still carrying on his boxing career, and that's good. You know, you can have you can fall off a horse and get back on.
Wilder in the black trunks, Dustin Long in the black and red. I wonder if, like, where Deontay is watching this fight. I mean, I'm figuring he is watching this
in the dressing room. They
yeah.
got monitors in the dressing room for sure.
Oh, he's not here yet, though.
And if he isn't here right now, he's
watching on FS2.
Watching it, exactly.
Well, Deontay, we say hello, and we look forward to your fight a little later on. Sure, he's watching his brother go at it right now. Remember, Rudy Clay fought on Frazier Ali 1 on the undercard, lost that fight. A lot was made of that at the time, that Muhammad was upset seeing his brother lose in that fight.
Oh, yeah, that definitely happens. Look, I trained the Rellas brothers who would fight on the same cards, and if one happened, which didn't happen too often, it was devastating
really?
for the other. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they take it hard. Sure, just like the Charlo brothers, you know?
A lot of pressure.
I like how Wilder started out. You know, he's starting off with that jab. He's throwing a couple to the body, and he's you know, testing him out. This is what you need to do. You go in there and test the guy out, test his body out, and see how he reacts to your punches.
Dustin Long, a former MMA fighter, 8-3. He's talking to Wilder right now. I don't know what he's saying.
He's saying, "Come on, hit me." You know, I love guys that do that type of thing because that means I'm not hitting them.
Right. Like you needed an incentive to hit something, right?
Well, that's more of an incentive because it's
Exactly.
almost guys trying to make fun of me. Like, what are you talking about?
Who talked to you a lot in the ring, Lennox? Do you remember someone gabbing with you?
Well, I talk to myself in the ring.
Are you those are the voices in your head, yeah.
You know, sometimes even an early loss for somebody like Marsellos Wilder, that it can make you a smarter fighter. Don't you agree?
Oh, 100%, 100%, because you never want that to happen again.
Right.
And then you look at your mistake, and then you want to fix it as soon as possible.
Exactly.
So I know that, and it's good that he's gotten back. He got back straight in the ring with a couple wins. Good punch to the body right there, and this is what you need to do. Come in with a good right hand to the body, especially you got to hit where you can see, and that's where he can see right now. You know, Long's got his hands up nice and high, and you know, this is where you need to go.
Long starting with the hook there and then lands after Marsellos Wilder, Deontay's little brother, establishing his jab in that round. Live in Las Vegas, Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, heavyweight championship of the world, later here tonight. Pleased to be here with you on FS2, and that is Deontay's younger brother, Marsellos Wilder, 5-1, going up against Dustin Long of Tennessee. See Wilder outlanding Long so far, and I said that just as we went to break, Lennox. I thought it looked like Marsellos was starting to get comfortable establishing his jab in that round.
Yes, he was. He also has to be careful when he's going to the body. You know, he can't lay out there too long because you know, might get caught with a right hand by Long. It's like when
right hand.
Yeah, long right hand. I mean, when you go to the body, you go to the body and you get out of the way quick.
Yeah, it looked like Long was going to start putting a little bit more heat on Wilder, you know, at the first 10 seconds of the fight, but he's actually stalling out here, just kind of being pretty stationary. If I were him, I would try to get something going for himself, or he's just going to get outboxed all night if this keeps repeating itself, which is what happened. Wilder landing jabs, good jabs, right hands to the body.
And he does jab to the body quite a bit. It's a good habit to get into.
And look at Long. He'll get on the inside. Instead of trying to do some damage, he holds his arms out like referee. Come on in and break it up. And if you're going to get on the inside and you're finally going to get close to your opponent, do something.
Marsellos Wilder is talking to him as well.
Long look at each other. Lead right hand by Long. And Marsellos and Deontay shared a room together. They're only 4 years separated. Humble beginnings. Deontay has told the stories of, you know, working fast food and lugging boxes and coming up the hard way before riches came his way in the ring as a heavyweight champ.
I doubt if there was much room in the room for those two guys.
I don't know how many other Wilders they could have gotten in there.
Right.
You know, it's important for both fighters. They're standing in front of each other. They should really be circling one way or the other. You know, try and get a rhythm of the guy and try and offset some of the punches.
But don't you think, Malik, Lennox, if Wilder felt threatened by Long's speed and athleticism, he might be doing that. And right now he feels that he's got the upper hand. Just like that, how easily he evaded that right hand.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't have to waste the energy, possibly. You know, I think maybe against a more efficient fighter, he might be doing that, which I agree with.
Yeah. But I mean,
I just don't think he has a lot of respect for Long right now. See, he's just.
No, he can, you know, if I was in his corner, I would tell him, come forward a bit more. Push him back with that jab. Push him back with that jab and throw a right hand.
Final seconds here against Marsellos Wilder. Good jabs to the body. Good round. Fascinating story. Again, turned pro early. He's got 2 fights, 2 wins, 2 rounds.
And 2 kids.
Milnecki? No. No.
I'm a little surprised if that's right. You were messing with me, right?
Anyway, back to this one. Marsellos Wilder and Dustin Long. Round 3, slow moving so far. Cruiserweights feeling their way through it. Long has never fought west of Tennessee, so this is a big step up for him, a big night for him fighting in Las Vegas, of course. Wilder has seen the big stage before with his brother, but trying to step up and establish his own career as Long goes southpaw. Now he goes back. I wonder, like, let's see him fight left-handed and see what's there.
He's turned southpaw a couple rounds earlier, And, well, actually in the second round, and he really didn't do anything off of it. I don't know why he does it if you're not going to utilize it, but you know, he's not a very active offensive fighter, Long. And I don't know why he isn't letting his hands go more.
Well, you know why? Because he's waiting for that perfect opportunity, and you can't wait for that opportunity. You got to make the opportunity, and that's by throwing some punches.
Well,
and obviously starting out with the jab.
I mean, if you've got a big knockout punch, see, I can see that, but you saw that right hand. It's not a very efficient-looking right hand. So why don't you try to win the round by being busy and at least impressing the judges, but by waiting to land some right hand that isn't going to hurt anybody. He's only got 2 knockouts in 5 fights, and he's been stopping it. So if he wants to win this fight, he better get going.
Good combinations there by Wilder. He starts to open it up. I don't remember a hook being thrown until right there, but it was a nice hook off a right hand. As he starts to pick up the pace, 70%, and there's a nice jab and right hand, 70% of Wilder's landed punches had been jabs. So he was content to jab mainly to the body, but now he starts to open it up. And Wilder looks good, Joe, when he throws his hands.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. After that good 1-2 he just threw a few seconds ago, I should say, he could, and he has the availability and the opportunity to follow up with maybe, say, a left hook to the body and follow up back to the head. Put a 4-punch combination together instead of 2.
And he's thinking in there, because I see him throwing a straight right, and then, you know, obviously Long's got his hands up covering for that right hand, but Wilder throws the right hand another way, and like a looping right hand, which is smart.
5 to 20 seconds of this third round. This will be the first 6-rounder for Marsellos Wilder. So he paced himself a little bit early on, but certainly much more comfortable. He's landed a lot of good power shots in this round. You obviously see the Wilder brothers keep in top flight condition.
You know, everybody's got different ways of training. You know, there was a couple guys that I know, they actually blew bubbles and punching the bubbles in shadow boxing. So, and one even came in with a snake. So there's all kinds of different ways. So whatever floats your bubble.
Right, and Marciano, of course, was an avid swimmer. Rocky Marciano. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Rocky swim all the time during training, sure.
I guess for you, Lennox, it's tougher to do that in Canada. It's cold.
Oh,
Hop in the water, right?
Well, you know what? Winter training was always my favorite type of training, because it always took a while to warm up, and then you couldn't really rest too long because you'll get cold. So it always put me in great shape.
Here, round 4. Marsellos Wilder against Dustin Long. Wilder landing 41% of his power shots in the third round. And that was really the difference as he starts to open up, throw more right hands, even landed a nice hook. Good combination punching by the younger Wilder.
Yeah, exactly. He followed that right hand up with a good left hook. And I think he could even get a couple more off of that. Like right there, he could follow up more. But look, he's being cautious and he's being smart. And he's only got 6 fights under his belt. You know, a few more fights, he's going to figure that all out. He'll go back and study his fights and, you know, keep on improving.
Our unofficial judge is Hall of Famer Larry Hazard. Larry, what do you think so far?
So far, I got Wilder ahead, 30 to 27. He's virtually winning the fight with one hand, a jab. He's been using the jab, but in this round, he's starting to open up a little bit more. The right hand over the top. He's doing some nice body work with the jab to the body. So I have him ahead, 30 to 27. He looks comfortable in there. And I think if he keeps this up, he should have no problems the rest of the way.
Yeah, Larry, just as you're saying that, he lands a right hand after he just jabs really at will, landing to the body and head. I'll say this, he throws down he goes, one shot, Jane 80 says this is over, out of nowhere. Dustin Long had done virtually nothing all fight, and he ends it with one shot.
Off the southpaw stance, by the way.
And let me tell you, I told you he was waiting for that perfect opportunity, and it came through.
An absolute stunner.
Unbelievable.
And when you said that earlier, Lennox, we were thinking, yeah, you could wait all night, kid, it won't happen. Well, he's 37. Well, it did happen there, and one shot is all it took.
But again, it happened from the opposite side that we would have thought, because it didn't look like he had much of a right hand. It turns out he had a hell of a left hand off the jab. He did that from a southpaw position. He just turned southpaw and he caught him cold.
Yeah, I mean, you know, some guys trick people like that. They box orthodox, but they're better southpaws.
Look, Dustin Long is 2-1-2. But you see, he does have those 2 knockouts in his 2 wins, and now we have a new level of respect for Dustin Long. Wow. Let's go back, and you'll likely want to see that again. I want to see that again. There it is, in the southpaw stance.
Yep.
As you
Wraps it
mentioned,
right around. Boom, there it is.
that's a short, shot. I mean, he didn't get his body behind it.
Well, no, but if you saw, he turned his knuckles over really well, and he's probably got a better left hook than a straight right hand, and that's why that left hand to the southpaw position, thrown like a left hook, see? It's thrown like a left hook from the right-handed stance. And he's just slid across past Wilder and dropped all the power on him.
Yeah,
That's a pretty short shot.
See, watch him. He'll fade over this way. Now he's bringing all his weight across the body. And it was a great shot.
yeah. I mean, part of the reason is because he's not really, he didn't really focus on the fact that Long was a southpaw at that time.
Exactly right.
He's used to an orthodox fighter. He's blocking like an orthodox guy was punching him, and didn't realize that it was a southpaw.
Now, Jay Nady stopped this immediately. And you can see as we're looking into Marsellos Wilder's eyes, why. He tried to get up, he went down, and he'd already waved that off.
Yeah. Well, he saw that. He waved that off. Jay Nady made the right call.
No question. I mean, again, the referee is always closer to it. You can see the eyes of the fighter. Dustin Long gets to dance. First fight west of Tennessee. He'll be dancing the night away in Las Vegas. Let's go to Jimmy Lennon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 51 seconds in round number 4. Our referee in charge, Jay Nady, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of knockout, Dustin Long.
Dustin Long getting a knockout for Tennessee. Wow.